Hi, I'm Angie Nelson, founder of theworkathomelife.com. Would you like to work at home, but you're tired of hearing that it takes money to make money, or that the only good options available are those that cost several $100s in startup fees? Not so fast. In today's video, I'm sharing with you several great work at home jobs that require no money down and no fees are involved. Stay to the end of the video to find out how you can get my 7-day series on finding work at home free. The first thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit today was about when it's okay to pay for a job and when it's not. There will be some instances in your work at home job search where you do come across some legitimate jobs that do have some costs involved. One of the most common things is a background check. If you are getting involved in customer service or maybe in an accounting or bookkeeping position, those companies will often want you to do a background check and sometimes a credit check if you are dealing with a customer sensitive information. Now, those background checks usually run about $15 to $25, and you should not be asked to pay for one until after you've already gone through the application process. This should not be something that you're asked to pay up front before you even fill out an application. So keep that in mind. Also, when you're working at home, you're going to have to pay for your own equipment in most cases. There are a few companies that will provide you with a computer or software that you need, but in many cases, it's up to you to provide the internet service, the computer that you're working with. If you're dealing with customer service, you'll have to provide a headset, things like that. So you will be responsible for those fees. Also, when you get into things like business opportunities, drug selling companies are perfectly legitimate, but they do have startup fees involved. But there's a big difference between a business opportunity and a job. So keep that in mind. Now, when we get into jobs that do not have any fees involved, one of the most abundant is going to be customer service. In these cases, you will be speaking with customers on the phone. You may be assisting them with the sales process or answering questions or even fielding some account or technical support. The thing with customer service is it doesn't always involve being on the phone. There will be some companies that do hire for email customer service or even chat customer service. And these companies that hire for customer service at-home agents are going to be a lot of companies that you're familiar with. We're talking about companies like Amazon, U-Haul, Enterprise, HSN, and hundreds of others. These companies all have a need for customer service agents, and today it's easier than ever to just hire someone that works at home to do those positions. The next position that you can get started in that doesn't have any startup fees involved is search engine evaluator. This position is one of the fan favorites of the work at home life community. Not only are there no fees involved, but this is also a position that can offer a lot of flexibility. These are often project-based positions, so they're going to be short-term, and sometimes your hours will be dictated by the company. You may only be able to work 1 hour a week. In some cases, we see the availability for up to 20 hours a week. So keep that in mind. When you're looking for these positions, a couple of the best-known companies are going to be App and Butler Hill, Leapforce, and Lionbridge. The next position that I wanted to talk to you about was transcription. Now, transcription can fall into both the no fee and the fee categories. The reason being is that transcription is going to be production-based pay. You're going to be paid for how much work you get completed. And having things like a foot pedal or some transcription software is definitely going to help make your job easier and help you get more done. So those are some fees that may be involved at some point, but you can often get started with just free software that's available on the internet. The next position that we are talking about today is virtual assisting. The great thing about being a virtual assistant is you can start with the knowledge that you have and with the equipment that you have on hand. If you just have your desktop or a laptop, you can get started with just those things and the skills that you have and learn new things as you go on. Upgrade your software as you get more profits in your bank account. So A couple of companies that hire for that are Time, etc. and Zirtual, and they are looking for virtual assistants to cover a wide variety of needs. The virtual assistant field is really varied, and you can be working with a lot of different clients on a lot of different projects, so there's definitely a need for even beginners. The last industry that I wanted to talk to you today about was writing. Writing is a great opportunity for a lot of those looking to work from home because it does offer a really flexible schedule, and it can also pay really well as you build on your skills and really build up your client bank. And with writing, there are no fees involved. You can get started with just your laptop or your desktop. The research you're going to be doing is going to be done online. There's no phone involved, and there's really no other equipment that's involved. Now, paying upfront is usually called a scam, but it really isn't always a scam. There are ways to tell whether you're doing something shady or something legitimate, and usually just doing a little bit of research on the company is enough. You can look on websites like Glassdoor so you can read reviews on companies. And the tips that I've given you before should really allow you to sniff out the bad opportunities from the good ones. If you like this video, please hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and make sure that you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.